All right, Patrick, good to see you again.
Yeah,
Today
awesome.
we're going to work on short game. So for the first minute or so here, I just want you to kind of talk about how your short game is on the course, what you're confident in, what you're not confident in, what some misses are, all that sort of stuff, and then I'll get to look at your motion here. So if you want to go ahead and go with that, is it a strength of your game or is it a weakness?
I'd say overall strength. I feel comfortable hitting a variety of shots, whether it's high, low, through my pitching wedge right to my 60 degree. I feel confident hitting all of those around the green, but my misses are not very solid contact. In a worst case scenario, that's hitting it behind the ball or in front of the ball, whether it's blading across the green or chunking it short. Those are tough for me and tough to recover. So from a confidence standpoint, I can hit a lot of different shots, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to hit it well.
All right, and obviously you haven't been playing as much recently, so
Right.
you're not necessarily practicing your short game as much as we did in our playing primes or careers.
Right.
So hopefully I could just spot a couple things here, and it's just something you could think about when you're chipping on the course. Because we know, I mean, you're only playing once or twice a week. You're not going to have time to come out here like I do and chip for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't expect you to, so hopefully we get to spot some simple things here that will improve and get you some confidence, because that's all it is. If you all of a sudden you hit a couple crazy up and downs with some nice spin or something like that, you're more confident in it.
Right.
All right, so let me see you hit a few, probably hit 3 or 4. You could pick a pin, maybe let's go to that middle pin, just hit standard shots or whatever you're confident in, really. I mean, I know sometimes you may putt this since we're just off the green here, but how was that one?
It was a little thin, but
Okay.
not a huge miss. Fast green. So yeah, that was my miss right there, a little on the thin side.
Okay.
It's a little fat, so.
Yeah. All right, so I've got what I want to tell you here. If you want to take this and I can demonstrate. I'll show you the video later after we stop recording. But so obviously you had a fairly average motion. You hit, I mean, they weren't terrible. Your misses were okay. Your misses were on the tour side, I'd say. But I noticed a few things. Taking divots here, which I don't necessarily like on a short chip like this. I'm more of a fan of really picking it clean, and that's when you're getting the most spin and most consistent contact. If you're hitting the ground, sometimes it'll be a chunk, sometimes it'll be a thin, depending on where you hit the ground.
Right.
I kind of just like to take all that out of it. And how we're going to do this here is, first, the most simple thing I noticed was it almost kind of looked like you were swiping across it, just a hair. I like your setup open perfectly. It's back in your stance, good. But you kind of just like swipe across and hit a little down on it. So that's what's happening. What I want you to do to fix it is I want you to feel like you're just more connected, elbows are more in the chest, and you're literally just rotating. And literally, I should be able to pull the club out of your hand, like without even, like a 4-year-old should be able to pull the club out of your hand. That's how lightly I want you to feel like you're gripping it. As opposed to what you did look like. Maybe you looked a little tight, this wasn't necessarily connected, you brought it up, all of a sudden you got all this space here, and then it's just not one fluid motion.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to set up, just really barely grip it, and it's kind of connected to our full swing. Imagine your takeaway in your full swing, it's getting disconnected. I want you to just rotate, stay connected, and then from here you're going to go a little more up to the right and just stay together. Like, I feel like my elbows are almost touching my chest at all times. From there, I'm never going to hit sharply down on it.